Good morning, my dear class 8 students. Welcome back to the online classroom of Maths. I'm Sudevi, your Maths teacher. So, as you heard my voice, you will be knowing that we are going to start a new chapter. Chapter is Introduction to Graphs. That is chapter 15. So, you should be ready with your graph note, not for this period, but after 2 days, you will be starting with the construction of graphs. Have you seen graphs in the newspapers, television, magazines, books, etc.? We have dealt data handling this year itself. So you will be familiar with bar graph, pie graph and all. And you had a art integration project of Maths with graph. Isn't it? The purpose of the graph is to show numerical facts in visual form so that they can be understood quickly, easily and clearly. Thus, graphs are visual representations of data collected. Data can also be presented in the form of a table. However, a graphical representation is easier to understand. Let us go through different types of graphs. Here are the different types of graphs: a bar graph, a pie graph, a histogram, a line graph. Students, you have learnt bar graph, double bar graph, pie graph and histogram. So in this chapter, we will be dealing with a line graph. So today's session will be just an introduction about bar graph, pie graph, histogram and a line graph. Let's see what is a bar graph. Students, whatever I show in this slide is there in your textbook. So open your textbook, page number 231. Now let's see what is a bar graph. This is a bar graph. Okay, this you have drawn in your graph notebook. A bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. Now, it may consist of two or more parallel bars. That means this is vertical bars. Now, what does this graph represent? This bar graph shows Anu's mathematics marks in the 3 terminal examinations. So this is the mark of mathematics marks of Anu in the 3 terminal examinations. Without going through any data representation, you can easily say that in which term she scored more marks. It is the 3rd term. It helps you to compare her performance easily. She has shown good progress in the 3rd term. Isn't it? Let's see. This is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. X-axis you have the terms, first term, second term and third term, and along y-axis marks in mathematics is shown. Let us read it. In the first term she got 25, isn't it? In the second term she got 30. What about third term? Third term she scored 45. So you should be able to represent the data in a bar graph and also interpret it. Interpret means you should be able to read it. Now let's see what is a double bar graph. This is double bar graph. Bar graphs can also have double bars. You can see 1, 2. Each category has 2 bars. That is, the darker one is for Monday and the lighter one is for Tuesday. This graph gives a comparative account of sales in various fruits over a 2-day period. So, along x-axis you have 5 types of fruits: mango, apple, orange, papaya, banana, and along y-axis you have sales in kilogram. So you can compare the sales of mango on Monday and Tuesday. Which is greater? Tuesday's sale is greater. Which fruit has the same sale on Monday and Tuesday? You can see papaya is having the same sales on Monday and Tuesday. So a double bar graph is used for comparative study between two quantities. Okay, children? Now, the third graph is about pie graph. You know, pie graph, the construction is using a compass, protractor and pencil, isn't it? You have a calculation table before you draw a pie graph. You have learnt it in data handling. So, go through it once. Here, only introduction is given. Now, a pie graph is used to compare parts of a whole. A pie graph is used to compare parts of a whole. The circle represents the whole. This is the whole thing, that is circle. Now, figure 15.3 is a pie graph. It shows the percentage of viewers watching different types of TV channels. Okay. So, how many types are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 50% of the people like to watch entertainment channels. 10% of the people likes to watch informative channel. 15% news channel and 25% sports channel. Is that clear? So, you should know how to construct a pie graph or a circle graph using the data given. Next is the most important thing which you learnt in data handling, a histogram. Students, you can see histogram here. What's the difference between a bar graph and a histogram? Bar graph, you can see gap between the bars. Gap between the bars. Okay. And histogram is drawn along the gap. Here it is 40 and 45. The bar is drawn between 40 and 45. That means here you can see this histogram illustrates the distribution of weights of 40% of a locality. So weight in kilogram, 40 to 45. 40 to 45 means it will include 40 kg, 41 kg, 42 kg, 43 kg and 44 kg. Such people, 4 persons are there in this range, interval 40, 41, 42, 43. So 4 people are there. So you will not be able to know how many people are there for 40 kg, 41 kg separately, 42 kg. Only that you could know is there are 4 people who has weight between 40 and 45. That is what is the difference between histogram and a bar graph. Okay, children, histogram shows the data in intervals and bar graph shows data for discrete information. Is that clear? Now you can see this jagged line. See, a jagged line has been used along. Here 0 to 40 no readings are there. 0 to 40 no readings are there. That is represented by this jagged line. Here it is there, jagged line. Okay. Now, this chapter is all about line graph. So, we have dealt with bar graph, double bar graph, pie graph, histogram. Here we are learning how to draw and how to interpret a line graph. Now, what is a line graph? A line graph displays data that changes continuously over periods of time. Let's see an example. When Renu fell sick, her doctor maintained a record of her body temperature taken every 4 hours. Okay, now Renu is sick. She has gone to the hospital and her doctor is maintaining a record of her body temperature every 4 hours. Now see the data. 6 a.m. she was 37 degrees Celsius. 10 a.m. 40 degrees Celsius. 2 p.m. 38 degrees Celsius. 6 p.m. 35 degrees Celsius. Okay children. Now this is same as the construction is same as bar graph. This is along y-axis. This is x-axis. X-axis we have the time. Y-axis we have the temperature. Students, just know how to interpret this. Construction we will be dealing later. Now 6 a.m. 37 degrees Celsius. Here we have taken 30, 32, 34. So between line will be 31, 33, 35, 37. So at 6 a.m. it is 37. 10 a.m. it's 40. 2 p.m. it's 38. 6 p.m. it's 35. Now when you join these points you get a line graph. See, when you join these points you get a line graph. The points are then connected by line segments. The result is the line graph. This is what you call as line graph. Okay children. So this is what we have learned for today. That is different types of graph. Students, you will have a small note on different types of graph. No need to draw the graph. Just learn the different types of graphs and what is the main points related to the graph. Thank you. Have a nice day.